Hey everyone, what's going on? Andy Clements here from Bodies by Moose, and in this video we're going to do the first of probably a weekly segment where I will answer people's questions and try and provide direct value to what people actually want to know. So if you have any questions that you'd like me to go through in relation to training, nutrition or mindset, then fire them over and I will do my best to get an answer to you as soon as possible. So we've got some questions that I've had sent in over the last few weeks anyway, so we're going to answer them one by one. So in this video, I'm going to cover one specific question, which was how much muscle mass can you gain within a 3-month timescale? So this is a really interesting question because 3 months or 12 to 16 weeks, it works out about, is sort of a standard timescale for the fitness industry and for people to expect a really big change with their physique. Now, this generally comes from the fat loss side of things because 3 months on a fat loss scale, especially if you've got quite a lot to lose, you can make a drastic change to your physique within 3 months. Muscle mass is a little bit different. Now, you can still make a big difference to your physique if you're just trying to build muscle within 3 months, depending on a bunch of different variables. But you shouldn't be expecting the same amount of rapid progress that you could get with fat loss. Now, you can do both at the same time to an extent, so some of the changes that you might see might be fat loss, but when it comes to building muscle, I think you need to deploy a little bit more patience, consistency and discipline in your actions and your habits and your routines. So with fat loss, you'll see things happening a lot more faster. You'll see things maybe on a weekly or maybe even sometimes on a daily basis. So you'll see weight coming down, you'll see changes in the mirror, you'll be able to do progress pictures and see the abs coming through if you're getting quite lean. Whereas with muscle mass, it's a little bit more nuanced. You might be looking at things like your lifts in the gym. You might be looking at things like how your clothes are fitting, whether you're getting tighter across the chest or across the top line, across that sort of area. So I think over a really short time scale, don't be expecting things to happen on a massive scale with muscle mass, because it's a much more nuanced and a much more patience requiring task, if that makes any sort of sense. So I can't really guarantee a number or an amount of muscle mass that you'll be able to gain in 3 months because there's just so many variables. And the first variable is, and the biggest variable is just whether you've got good genetics. So the better your genetics, if you pick the right mum and dad and pick the right ancestors further down the family tree, then you will have an easier job building muscle because, you know, that's just in your DNA, it's in your genetic makeup. For me, I don't have very good genetics. I can tell you that categorically. I have been training for 10 years, more than 10 years now, since I was just turned 16, right? And it took me a long time to build an appreciative amount of muscle, but you got to also factor in the fact that when I was 16, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, right? So I just went to the gym and did a few bicep curls and a few chest presses and then went to KFC and didn't go back for a week. Okay, so you've got to understand that this is all very nuanced and there's so many different variables affecting things. So if you know what you're doing, or at least you get some help from somebody that knows what they're doing, you can accelerate the process of muscle building, yeah? So if you're hiring a good trainer, or you get a good training partner, or you even just go on YouTube and watch some really cool videos, or join a membership site that has some really cool videos that can help you to work out what it is you need to be doing in the gym, obviously you can accelerate the process of muscle building. Now, the other way that you can start getting faster results is if you tick your boxes daily. Now, this is what I mean by ticking boxes. There are a number of different tasks, basic tasks that aren't rocket science, that aren't, you know, incredibly complex, and they won't sell a lot of ebooks online, or won't sell a lot of, get farming a lot of Instagram likes online. But these are the basic tasks that will do 80 to 90% of your work for you. And if you get these right, you'll have a much better physique in 3 months from now than you do today. So the first box that you've got to tick every single day is, have you eaten all your meals today? So if you've got a diet plan or some sort of nutritional approach worked out, have you eaten all your meals today? If you haven't, don't expect to be building as muscle as fast as you can be building muscle. So have you eaten every 3 to 4 hours? Have you got 4 to 5 big meals in? Have you eaten the right amount of calories, eaten in the right ratio, got enough protein in, that sort of thing? That's not rocket science, that's very, very basic. So have you done that? If you have, tick that box for the day, get up and do it again the next day. Have you drank 3 to 4 litres of water today? Depending on your body weight, but have you drank 3 to 4 litres of water? If you haven't, don't expect to be building muscle at a rate you could be building muscle. You need to be hydrated. Again, super basic. Have you trained? If you're due to train today, and you don't need to train every day, but if you're due to train today, have you got your arse in the gym and trained? And have you trained hard? Or have you just gone through the motions? Because muscle building is an adaptive response to stress. It isn't something that you can just go through the motions and just, you know, have your phone texted in one hand and mindlessly pull a bicep, pull a weight up and down on a bicep curl in the other hand. You can't expect to build muscle unless you're 100% focused and 100% intense, okay? So that's another box that you've got to tick. Have you trained hard? Have you progressed your lifts? Have you got a logbook and you're making sure you're writing your numbers down and building on last week's workout this week? If you haven't, don't expect to build muscle as fast as you could. So it's boxes like that. Have you slept 8 hours? Have you managed your stress effectively, or have you allowed yourself to be drawn into silly arguments? You know, all these things affect the way we can build our physique. So if you aren't managing all those things and aren't ticking all the boxes, you won't be building muscle as fast as you could be, okay? If you tick all these boxes on a daily basis, 3 months from now, I guarantee you will look better than you look today. I can't guarantee how much better because that depends on you as an individual. But what I can guarantee is you will look more muscular than you do today. And you will be more muscular than you do today. Now, another variable that affects muscle building is how experienced you are in the gym. So if you are completely new to the gym, and you've never lifted a weight before in your life, you've never even set foot in a gym, you literally don't know what it feels like to lift a weight, and you know what you're doing, you will respond faster than somebody like me who's been training 10 years, yeah? Because muscle building, like I say, is an adaptive response to stress, and you have never experienced that adaptive response yet. So as soon as you start training, your body's going to be like, whoa, we need to either grow or die. Your body doesn't want to die, so it's going to grow, right? So as long as you have all the variables and all the box ticking from the start, you have a massive advantage in that you can look drastically different 3 months from now. So if you are a beginner, don't think, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. Think this is a massive opportunity for me. I've got an advantage over the people like me who didn't know what they were doing when they were a beginner. So put the research in, put the time in, find out what it is you need to be doing, tick every box consistently, and you can look drastically different 3 months from now. How different is up to you. It's up to your genetics, it's up to your commitment, and it's up to your consistency. So be committed, be consistent, and get the best that you can get. Because no matter how bad your genetics are, like me, you will still be able to get a good amount of progress if you put the time, work, and commitment in. Hope that was useful, guys, and I'll see you next week for another question by Bodies by Moose.